Nice.
And this is the cool part here. So you got the presentation, and then you could squeeze it.
Ah, cool.
That's what they're paying for right there.
Oh, yeah. See, now it looks really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another Friday. This week I did it my way. I made lots of juice, and now I feel a boost. Baby say, oh, it's the way I make my juice. Pressing fruits and roots. This week I did it my way. Baby say, oh, now let's have some fun. There is nothing greater than Fridays at Good Nature.
Ow, ow, ow! What's up, my juice lovers? Welcome to... The sound's not playing.
No?
Welcome to... Huh. All right, just do a drum roll for me, all right? Good Nature Radio. This is your host, Charlie Wetlaufer, joined by the #1 juice business consultant and chef in the entire world, Chef Ari Sexner, author of The Juicing Companion, the only book written to teach you how to make your own amazing juice recipes. Good Nature Radio is the only podcast for juicing professionals in the entire world. And we're happy to be at episode 63 today. Got some exciting stuff here for you. So the first thing on the docket, it is official. We're finally relaunching JuiceCon. Yay!
Nice.
See if the clapping sound will work. There we go. Yeah. All right, everybody settle down. I know it's exciting, but it will be taking place in Austin, Texas, my city, November 5th to 6th, 2026. So it'll be about a year from now. These events do take a long time to plan. There's lots of things with planning it, getting the speakers to confirm and getting the sponsors on board. A lot of them have to plan like a year out for marketing reasons and whatnot. So this will be, like the other ones, about a 200-person event where the entire industry will come together and share knowledge and help each other grow. We're going to be focusing on community, this one especially. And I found a beautiful venue. So basically the history of JuiceCon, for people that don't know, is we wanted to do this conference where we get juice bar and juice business owners together to help each other out. So we did the first one in 2017 in Venice Beach, California. Very small venue. We could barely fit the 175 people in the building that we got. There was only one restroom for the whole place. Remember,
Yeah.
There's only one toilet for 175 people. But,
Nope.
we had no idea how popular the event would be or how many people would come. We ended up selling out. So then we did this, and it went very well, by the way. It was just like the energy in the room was unbelievable.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought, I've been to other industry conferences where it's a bunch of people in khakis walking around with lanyards and making small talk with everybody, and it's very awkward. But this was not that way at all. Everybody's so warm and welcoming. By the end of it, people were hugging each other and exchanging phone numbers, and we made a lot of lasting friendships. People I'm still friends with today, as well as other people did as well. So then we did the second one in Miami. We tried to go much bigger. We got this huge venue in 2018, and we thought it would be like 400, 500 people, but ended up being about 200 people. So the first venue was too small. The second venue was too big. And then the pandemic hit as we were planning our next one. We we're going to do the next one in 2020. Pandemic hit, canceled it. Then in, I believe it was 2021, replanned the next one for 2022 in California. But then right as we were planning it and getting ready to pay deposit on the venue, then the Omicron variant ended up emerging and things started to talk about potential safety restrictions, the lockdowns again. I was like, oh my God, can't do it. Canceled that one.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, 3 years later, we're planning it again. I found the perfect venue. It's the perfect size. It's a newer building. It's clean. They have everything we need, like stage and lighting. It's an event venue. They do weddings there, and they just did a women's wellness event there. So there's a nice big room that can comfortably fit 200 to 300 people. And then there's another smaller room where we can do the catering. And then when you walk in the building, it's great because there's actually a full sort of cafe bar area set up. So we can do juicing there and serve juice and smoothies and coffee and snacks and stuff and give demos there. And then the hallway is nice and big, so we can put the sponsors in there, the vendors, and nice big clean restrooms, plenty of space for everybody, plenty of parking, and it's in the beautiful hill country of Austin. So it's outside the city, about 15 minutes in the hill country. But it's a beautiful area, and we'll do it in November, so the weather should be perfect. And so I'm really excited about it.
Yes.
So I've secured the venue. You and I have started talking to the catering company. They make food right there on site, and they'll work with us on the food we're going to serve. And there's plenty of juice bars to visit in Austin and in the area, and plenty of nice places to stay, whether you want to stay in the hill country or you want to stay right downtown in Austin, if that's more your speed. There's literally I don't know, probably 100 hotels to choose from. So I'm really excited about it, and we will make the official announcement via email very soon. And tickets will go on sale this spring, maybe early summer, about 6 months before the event. So if we do plan on selling out, because we are going to limit the ticket sales to 200. So if you want to be on the list, go to goodnature.com/JuiceCon, and there's just a little spot for your email there. You can sign up. We'll send the announcement there first, and then we'll send it to our main email list a day later. So if you want to be first to get the announcement, do that. And so we will have some tiered ticket pricing. So if you buy them in the beginning, they'll be cheaper, and then the price will go up as we get closer to the event. So definitely, if you want to join, buy early. We will figure out the tickets price soon once we figure out what our budget is for the event. We're hoping to charge less than we did in previous years, since we kind of have a better idea of ticket sales and whatnot. We can budget better. In Miami, the budget was way too high. We lost a lot of money on that event, but we're not going to make that mistake this year. So it should be fun. And we're trying to figure out how to do the juicing championship competition again this year, where we have the attendees can bring juice and compete at who's got the best juice. And we'll have our winners from the past event there as well. Kwai Chang will be one of the judges. Nice. And he was the champion in 2018. And yeah, we'll have all kinds of fun stuff going on. Expert speakers and people that have grown very successful juice companies will be doing panel discussions, discussing important topics about running juice businesses. And we'll do community building events where you can meet other people in the industry and talk about what issues you have going on and get help from other people, and hopefully form some long-lasting friendships and connections of people you can call when you need some advice. So, yeah, that's the rundown. It'll be a 2-day event, November 5th and 6th, 2026. Join the email list at goodnature.com/JuiceCon. And yeah, that's what we have for now. More details will come together soon, and we'll keep everybody updated.
That's awesome.
So it's exciting. Yeah,
I'm
really excited.
Coming.
I know. Yeah. Anyone that's been to one keeps asking us when the next one will be, because they had so much fun. And people that have seen video clips of the old ones are asking when the next one will be. So it's officially here. We're actually doing it.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yes. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. So next on the docket, we're going to go through, Ari has assembled some tips for putting up your menu in your juice bar. And it's funny because you sent me this document last week, and then just today there was a question in the Facebook group about it. So I think we're right on topic here. And if you're not on the Facebook group, search for Good Nature Commercial Juicing in Facebook, and you'll find the group. We're up to over, I think, 7,000 members now, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Lots of good discussion going on there every day. So yeah, so let's and you've got some examples here of stuff we can look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you want to give a quick overview first, and we'll pull up these images?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like the topic comes up a lot. Like it's kind of like an afterthought when you're planning out your operation, or you got your menu all set, and then it's like, how am I going to display this? And there's a lot of important factors to think about. Is how you're going to display it for the flow of people coming in. Like, how are they going to? There's opportunities to have them look at the juices beforehand, and I'll talk a little bit more about that kind of off the side. There's a lot of opportunities to upsell the product. But for example, I think the main thing to think about first is what kind of operation do you have? Like, is it a fun, playful operation? Like, are you looking to have bright, vibrant colors, or do you want it more health focused? Do you want it more clean looking? So I think that's extremely important to think about before you even consider any of these options.
And I think an important part of that too is having your brand figured out first. Like, we've talked about the importance of having a good brand design, and I don't mean just logo. A lot of people, they hear brand, they think logo. Mm-hmm. We're talking more than that, like colors and fonts and photography guidelines, and just because you want everything to be cohesive in the juice bar. So if you can do it, we definitely recommend going through a full branding exercise before you get into menu design, because that will sort of drive the whole menu design. So you've got a few examples here. So the first one is like a chalkboard type menu, which is very popular.
Yeah.
And the second one looks like a digital menu. Mm-hmm. And those are nice because you can update them easily without reprinting or
there's definitely a drawback for you can kind of fix either one, but the chalkboard's a little bit more challenging to update with like pricing or ingredient changes. So that's an important thing to think about for sure. But yeah, think about your style of operation. The chalkboard might be a perfect fit versus more futuristic, clean digital presentation, or do a combination of both, kind of like a chalkboard display on a digital TV or display unit. I think what's really important as well is look at it from a guest perspective. I see too often they got too much wording, too much verbiage on there, and the font's so small they could barely see it, and you have to make a decision once you're at the counter. So the third option that I like, that I was talking about before, is off the side, kind of where a lot of juice bar operations will have kind of like a walk-up area to the point of sale system. And off that side, it's kind of like a blank, empty space. Sometimes they have a reach-in cooler for juices, or I like putting a display of just the juices on there. If you're a juice bar, I think that's a great option to kind of. Carmela's is an example I have on there. I think they did a beautiful job of just kind of highlighting the different juices that they have, the ingredients in there. And this option is great too, because they kind of have like a placard setup. Not this one in particular, but you could have one single placard for each juice you have, and have kind of like panels there. And it's easy to kind of interchange stuff, put a seasonal one up where it's just like a display of that one juice, the name, and maybe some benefits of it. Right. That's a great opportunity to kind of get people thinking about what they want to get beforehand. And also, if you do want to go that route, I also like having a display of maybe like a how you feeling board, where it's like, okay, I feel a little sick. These are the juices I recommend, or, I'm bloated, or digestion, just kind of certain health benefits on there related, and then listing the juices underneath so that they can kind of lead the discussion on what juice they want to choose for that day as well. So,
yeah, and I also recommend, I always like it when, like, if you walk in a juice bar if they have the menu board above the counter, they also have it on the wall, or like you said, maybe standing on a stand somewhere further away, because sometimes there's a line, or sometimes you kind of want to look at it before you get up to the counter,
Mm-hmm.
because it feels awkward to the customer to get all the way up to the counter. They're ready to take your order, and then you're kind of like looking up, trying to read the menu.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, and also make sure the fonts are big enough to read from far away on the above counter menu. I think that's a common issue too,
Mm-hmm.
where you can't even actually read it until you get up fully up to the counter, which is kind of an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great way to upsell too. When you have that display there, you'll find selling a lot more juices. What I also see too is kind of a new way is where they'll have their reach-in coolers. A lot of times they have those metal frames for the shelves. What I like is they kind of put little placards under each juice that they have on display, and they'll have like a juice name, and even you could do like a QR code on there. If you didn't want to have health benefits all over the place, you can have a little QR code. They can scan it, kind of look at what's in it or what farms you're getting the produce from. There's a lot of great opportunities.
Right. So you have
to
the basics printed for them. That'll be enough for most people. But if some people want to dive in deeper and learn more about it, they can pull up the QR code. Yeah, I like that.
I think that's important too, because it's all about balance. There's a fine line of, everything health benefit, health focus. It could be too much for a lot of people. You want to have that information there, but present in a way where it's still approachable for the average consumer.
All right, we can talk about layout of the menu a bit, and you've got another example here.
Yeah, so this is an example of layout. What I like about this example too is you could put off the side cleanses, because cleanses are an amazing opportunity to get a large amount of sales and be able to show them how to order that. I think that's great to kind of incorporate that in the overall menu. But you want to split your menu up into categories. Keep it as simple as possible for people to see. There's kind of a way of there's kind of a science behind it on how people actually read menus. When it's a long rectangle or 2 pages, it's people kind of scan in like a Z formation. You could look up. There's a lot of studies on it actually. Or if you have just one page they'll start like midway down, go to the bottom, go to the top. But it's kind of like a common trait of people that they scan their menus. So you want to kind of really focus in on your best sellers or like your maybe high profit items, kind of incorporate that in the field of view, if you want to say.
Yeah, I know. I'll read like top down a bit, and then I'll skip and read bottom up a bit, and then finally read the middle later.
Yeah, it's I think they say it's a Z formation for like the double panel. So it's like scan on the bottom. It's pretty fascinating, and you'll catch yourself doing it after you check out the format for sure.
Yeah, and then I noticed in this example they have a little green dot that says pressed favorites. So they're kind of calling out like, hey, these are people's favorites, which is good, because it can be a little overwhelming to people that have never tried anything, especially if they haven't even been to a juice bar before.
Yeah.
Just reading all the ingredients and all the stuff. So then if you have a little mark like, hey, try this one. And I'm sure you can also make sure those are highly profitable for you. Like if those are the ones you're highlighting there.
Yeah. And you want to be careful. You could definitely clutter your menu very quickly. Clean presentation is very important. Okay. So just don't go into a description of every single ingredient on there. Some operations do that to kind of make it seem like they're, for smoothies in particular, like they list off organic on every single item, or they go ahead and they put down the brand names for every milk they might use or adaptogen they use. It could be overwhelming very quickly. So always think about that as well.
Yeah.
I think the pricing is extremely important too. There's certain numbers you want to definitely avoid. you could look that up, and there's a lot of great information on that. Like I always tell people, the goal for your juices in most places are be at $9.99. If you got to go above that, that's a huge jump from $9.99 to $10. You want to kind of avoid flat numbers and kind of have like a cent in there.
Yeah, so they say when you have like 99 cents or 95 cents, that gives that signals value.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just use flat numbers with no cents, that signals like luxury kind of. So
Mm-hmm.
if you notice, you'll notice it. Like if you're shopping at a store that's trying to be like a luxury brand, they'll just say, "Hey, this is $85," and they won't have the pennies at all there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're shopping at like Old Navy or something, they'll say this is $84.99
Yeah.
because they're trying to signal value versus quality. So that's definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, like you go to a fine dining restaurant, they'll never have the cents on there. It's always
exactly. Yeah.
17.
Yeah, but then if you go to like Cheesecake Factory, they'll have the 89 cents or 99 cents.
And even a lot of times people avoid even having the dollar symbol there, where we just have the price listed. So that's something to think about as well. And all this stuff can really fit into, that's why think about your style of operation. There's no clear cut way to do this, but think about what you're trying to present to your customers, and then you'll be able to figure out the format pretty quickly.
Yep. Okay. And then you have a note here that says color format.
Yeah, I think too much color on a menu is a little bit distracting, and that's a big thing. Is menus could be distracting when you have too much information on there. That also goes with too much color. I kind of prefer like a simple style where your operation might have for your logo 3 different shades of color, 3 different colors, and follow that with your menu. Where it could be your header in one color, and then the menu category in another, and then the description in the final 3rd color. So when you're thinking about your style of operation, I think the color palette is extremely important too. So you can kind of incorporate that in everything that you do, and especially the menu.
Yeah, I agree. Like, don't forget, a menu is supposed to present information in an easy to understand way.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets too distracting, too much going on, it becomes like exhausting for the person reading it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can talk about add-ons here.
Yeah, menu add-ons are an amazing way to increase your check average. And in most cases, you already have these products available. Average consumer will probably ask for these anyways. So it's better just to write out your juices, write out your smoothies, and then pull all the adaptogens you're currently having. And then that'll basically build your add-on menu, or 90% of it at least. And then you could add on certain stuff, and you want to think about the add-on menu. Most times people are just adding it to smoothies. So you want to think about, okay, is that adaptogen or add-on adding any flavor? Then you want to make sure it'll fit along with every option, because you don't want them to pick and choose certain items. It's going to affect the end result, and it's going to not taste good. So the add-on menu basically writes itself. I kind of like to have this on the side and not actually on the display menu, just because that can make it pretty cluttered. But a lot of times people have this posted on kind of like a glass display or sneeze guard when they're building it. So I would think about writing this and then having it on a display unit, kind of close to the point of sale system, but off the side a little bit.
Yeah, and then could educate the person taking the order to ask them if they want any add-ons and show them the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drive some upsells. And
another option too is possibly picking 1 or 2 smoothies and then have like a supercharged version of it, where it'll be like add $2 and it's going to add chia seeds, flax seeds, or, add $1 for adding sea moss to something. So also consider that maybe 1 or 2 smoothies. You can have like a supercharged version for an added price, so that you kind of take, a lot of times people don't know what they want. They don't want to make decisions. They'll kind of stand up there and they'll rely on you. That's just kind of giving the customer an option to kind of let you guide them a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So you ready to get into your upper echelon smoothie presentation? And I believe you're going to do a live demo for us.
Yeah. So I'm taking, for this smoothie, I want to kind of show an example of how simple it is to kind of have, be able to have an upper echelon smoothie. It's sometimes it seems complicated because they have, you read menus that have this, and it's kind of like, what is this? What is this? It's kind of like you want to look at the basic health benefit of it. Okay, so the example I'm going to give you guys today is, it's really just a blueberry banana smoothie. It's as simple as blueberries, bananas, touch of sweetener. For this one, I'm going to use honey to make it upper echelon. One, we're going to do the Manuka honey. So yeah, you got a beautiful
Sorry, I just
picture.
want to pull up an example. So
Mhm.
I believe Erewhon Market is the one that sort of started this trend. They're well known for being a very high-end, all organic, very expensive grocery store. Started in LA. They've been expanding to other locations, but you can see some of their prices here. $20 for this strawberry smoothie, $19 for this mango, $21 for vanilla matcha smoothie.
Yeah.
But they do look beautiful and very fancy with the coconut cream or whatever they got going on in there. So this has kind of been trending, and we've seen a lot of our customers and clients adding many items like this to their menu. I think it's a great way to sort of drive up a check average and revenue and get some higher margin products on your menu.
Yeah. And that's a good example of, like, if you click on one of them and see the ingredients on there, it's going to be listing a lot of information on what the ingredient is. And it's going to look like a full paragraph where it's actually just like 8 or 9 ingredients.
Right.
Like they'll have name brands on there.
Cool.
So I got everything here. I'll be able to, and I wanted to do a kind of a different presentation. A lot of times the layered smoothies is kind of like the big thing for sure. So I wanted to kind of think of something different. It's not 100% practical. It's very cool and it's eye catching. So I'm going to show you guys that here today. So like I said, it's a very simple, basic smoothie. And what I have in here is just my measured frozen blueberries and frozen banana.
So that's measured out for one smoothie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. The banana I add, so each element brings something to the smoothie. I think it's very important to have all the different categories, which is a whole fruit or vegetable. And then your liquid, which this case I'm going to use coconut milk. And then the third one is an emulsifier. So for the emulsifier is going to be the banana for this. You could use yogurt. You could use frozen cauliflower. It actually works great. But that's just going to make it smooth. If I wasn't going to add a banana to this, it would be more of like a slushy consistency, which is not bad. Like the most common one for that is where it's frozen watermelon and fresh watermelon, and they just add a little bit of lemon or lime juice to it and blend it. But it's more like a slushy consistency instead of being smooth. So this is going to be, I'm just using a coconut milk for this. And if you did make your own plant-based milks, you could definitely add it. Definitely feature that on the menu though, like house-made plant-based milks. But it's pretty common to use just like a store-bought, almond milk, coconut milk, and have those on hand. If I was just making a almond milk, like a house-made almond milk, I would still have the store-bought coconut milk, oat milk, because more often than not, people are going to ask to switch that.
Right.
More common than anything else. So I've made this a lot so I can kind of just eyeball it, but you can use like a measuring cup just to kind of pour that in there. And then this is going to be the honey. For this one, to have it, the upper echelon one, we're going to use a little bit of the Manuka honey. Just a little bit more beneficial for than versus honey. It's got a lot more antibacterial benefits.
Is all Manuka honey from the same place?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's different grades and qualities for that. So again, this is just a basic blueberry banana smoothie, and then we're just elevating it with certain ingredients that are not adding a lot of flavor, but it's just improving the overall benefits. So with this, I'm going to add a little bit of unflavored collagen and a little bit of sea moss gel. So overall, I kind of look at the health benefit of the smoothie just to make sure I have different categories for everything, whether you want something rich in antioxidants, something good for immunity booster, something for a meal replacement. And then I add those ingredients to kind of build off that and increase it. So overall, this one is really focused on like antioxidants, but also skin health. Okay. And bone strength. So I'm going to add a little bit of sea moss gel and unflavored collagen for that. I think it's very important. Not important, but if you are offering sea moss, kind of weigh out the options to be able to make it in-house. It's a lot more inexpensive, and it's a lot better tasting. It's definitely better tasting. So
it's not that difficult either. It's not that much work. It has a decent shelf life, right? I mean,
the biggest thing is I have a little bit of sea moss here, and when you get it, it's going to smell like the beach. It's going to be really oceany in smell. Washing it well is the key to that. So run it under cold water consistently. Sometimes I'll use warm water, and all you do is you soak it after it's washed in with plenty of liquid, because it's going to triple in volume at least, in a cooler for like 24 hours to 48 hours. The reason why it tastes better is because you're rinsing it really well. And I find a lot of the store-bought stuff, the gel already made, kind of still has that oceany smell and flavor to it. So it's better quality and it's cheaper. And it's real easy. After it's soaked, you just take it out. I soak it with a lemon or lime, squeeze that and put the whole thing in. It really gets rid of that smell and taste. And then after, you just put it in a blender and mix enough filtered water to get that gel consistency. So that's it for this. So I added the collagen and sea moss gel, and I'm just going to blend it. Now that's blended, you can see the consistency. It's pretty good. You have one of these jar spatulas, I think they're called. They're risotto spatulas. They're great for smoothies. It's a little better than the wide base spatulas. So the next thing, my smoothie's done. It's ready to go. For the presentation, you could definitely take a cup, put a little bit of coconut yogurt, or add a little bit of coconut milk to the base. And when you put the smoothie, it's going to give you a layered effect. But this one, I wanted to kind of do something different and unique. And this is like a what I used here is a vegan white chocolate. Okay. It's made with non-GMO. You can get a vegan version of this. You can make your own with like coconut oil. And basically what you want to do is you want to melt it down a little bit, either in a microwave or double boiler. And once it's warm and melted, you just pour it in a cup, twirl it around, and then dump it out. It's not very practical, but it's a beautiful presentation. It's definitely
what you
something
need if you're going to
worthwhile.
be charging $16. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So all I do is, and these hold well. You can make a bunch and put them in the cooler. It's very tricky for space, so I don't expect everyone to be able to do this. And then from there, I like to just move it around or give it a little bit of shake to loosen up. And then it's got a little pour spout. I never use that. I find that this side is easier to pour thicker substances to. Then you have your smoothie here. Now this is going to be a little bit over the top presentation because I wanted to feature everything, so you guys can pick up some tips and tricks and incorporate in your smoothies. This is actually a coconut heavy cream. So it's going to be like when you get coconut milk, a good quality coconut milk, the solids that are in there, you just take that out, break it up, whip it around a little bit, and that's it. It's going to give you a much thicker consistency. So you could just add a dollop on top like that. Makes it look nice, but it's also working well with all the other ingredients with the coconut milk. It's also got honey in here, so you could also add, I'm going to add a little bit of bee pollen. That's your end smoothie.
Nice.
And this is the cool part here. So you got the presentation, and then you could squeeze it.
Ah, cool.
That's what they're paying for right there.
Oh, yeah. See, now it looks really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
Just something to think about. Not that everyone can incorporate in there, but just a way to kind of highlight some different tips and tricks to be able to elevate your smoothie game. So,
yeah, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool, Ari. Thank you for that.
If people want to know, there's a lot of options out there. This was a pretty good quality for a vegan.
Oh, the vegan chocolate?
Pasha, yeah. And basically you just melt it down, pour it in the cup, and kind of swirl it around and then pour it out into the next cup and just keep that process going.
Cool. Can you give us one more beauty shot of that and kind of rotate it around a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Making me hungry.
This is what the cup looks like. So you could just store these in your cooler. They stay solid in a cooler, and then just see.
It's very cool. I like that a lot.
And it works great with a little bit more, not as thick smoothies, a little bit more liquidy, which is amazing for especially like matcha smoothies and coffee smoothies, because it's kind of tough to get a thicker consistency. Because you don't want to add a bunch of banana to that or anything and affect the flavor. So this is an amazing option for that, because it doesn't matter if it's that thick. It actually works better if it's a little thinner.
Cool. Awesome. Well, send me over the recipe and we'll get that in the show notes for this episode. And if anybody wants more smoothie recipes, we have some on goodnature.com/recipes. All right, this was fun.
Yeah.
We've got the holidays coming up. I hope everybody has a good autumn and winter. And yeah, thanks, Ari.
Awesome. Get ready
Talk
for
soon.
JuiceCon, everyone.
Yeah, get ready. goodnature.com/JuiceCon. Sign up on that list. All right. Bye, everybody.
It's another Friday. This week I did it my way. I made lots of juice, and now I feel a boost. Baby say, oh, it's the way I make my juice. Pressing fruits and roots. This week I did it my way. Baby say, oh, now let's have some fun. There is nothing greater than Fridays at Good Nature.